Quest 12, Barak Tor, Barrow of the Witch Lord. War with the eastern orcs is brewing, and the Emperor needs to unite the lesser kingdoms for the conflict to come. To do this, you must find the ancient Star of the West as worn by the kings of legend in ages past. You will be rewarded with 200 gold coins, to be divided evenly amongst all the heroes, when the Star of the West is returned to safety. The Star of the West lies in Barak Tor, the resting place of the evil Witch Lord. He was defeated by the magical spirit blade long ago. This blade is the only weapon that can harm him. So this is Barak Tor, the Barrow of the Witch Lord. And so what we've got to do is find that star jewel and at the same time avoid the Witch Lord. Shouldn't be too hard, right? Okay, so party starts down here in the lower left corner, and they get out of the room. Now there's a secret door here, but that's going to make things no fun. So we're going to pretend. Let's just roll. On a 1, they find it. On anything else, the elf ignores it. And so a 6. Yeah, let's do that because that'll make this a little more fun. Now, the dwarf is now the tank of the party. And actually, the barbarian's kind of fallen behind. So we're going to go ahead and move these guys and make their moves. And instead of just counting out the moves, I'm going to move them up here. And what happens when they get up here is they go past this falling rock trap or the falling ceiling trap. And when the last party member goes past it, it falls. And it blocks their way backwards. So now they're essentially trapped. They have to move forward. So we will go ahead and do that. They move to this door. And we'll say the wizard comes here. And we will go through the standard. We're going to peek in. And we see 2 zombies and 2 skeletons. And let's roll for initiative. The party gets 2. The monsters get 6. So this zombie, actually we'll move the skeleton in first, and the zombies follow. And then we're going to go to our monster cards, and the skeleton will make the first attack, and he's going to attack at 2 against the dwarf. And so we roll 2 attacks. Neither of them hit. Okay, that leaves an opportunity for the dwarf to attack. Now the dwarf attacks with an axe for 4 die, and gets 1 hit. Skeleton defends with 2 die and does not. So that skeleton's eliminated. Okay, and that's the end of the turn. We'll say the other skeleton goes in first and it gets to attack. Attacks the dwarf with 2 die. 1 hit. And the dwarf defends with 5. The dwarf's got that special magical armor. Easily defends. Okay, dwarf gets to go. Gets 1 hit. Skeleton defends with 2. And makes it. Okay. And then the wizard goes ahead and pokes with 1. Skeleton defends again at 2 and makes it. Okay. Let's roll for initiative. Party gets 6. Skeletons get 4. Dwarf goes. Misses. Wizard goes. Whoops, wrong die. Hits. Skeleton defends. And doesn't make it. So the skeleton's eliminated by being poked with a stick. Can't really move in place here. So we go to the next round of combat. 2 for the party. The zombies get a 3. The zombie moves forward and attacks with 2 die. And they get 1 hit. Dwarf defends with 5. Easily defends. Dwarf attacks with this. Gets 1 hit. Zombie defends with 3. And makes it. Wizard pokes with a stick and does it. Okay, next turn. 5 for the party. 3 for the monsters. Monsters are going to, or the party gets to go. So dwarf easily makes it. That eliminates the skeleton. Skeleton moves in and attacks with 2 die. Both are hits. The dwarf defends with 1, so the dwarf takes a hit point of damage. So he is now at 5. Okay. I forget whose initiative. Okay, that was okay. We got to go to initiative. Party 6. Zombies 1. 1 hit. Zombie defends at 3. Does not defend, and a zombie only has a body point, so it's gone. Dwarf, lead belly, rolls and gets a potion of healing. Always use one of those. So let me write that down. So now the dwarf has 2 potions of healing. Discard. And they move in. They check for traps. They check for secret doors. And realize, oh, I forgot to check secret doors back there. Ah. Okay, go to the next one. Peeks through, discovers nothing. And secret door. They need a better secret door system here. I think that's this secret door system's kind of lame. We'll just say on a 1 or 2 they try to detect. Okay, nope. So they go this way. Dwarf peeks through, and the party keeps moving. Now the party goes here, and the dwarf isn't checking for traps and takes a spear to the chest for a point of damage. Okay, determines that there's probably no other way. There'd be another one, but now they can either go this way or this way. I'm going to say odd they keep going straight, even they go through that door. Odd they keep going straight. Dwarf takes another hit. Now this time the dwarf's figured out that maybe there's another spear trap here. So they keep moving. And this time he detects it and walks past it, or, well, triggers it. Okay. Peeks through the door. Nothing in there. I don't think there's anything in there. That's kind of funny that these rooms are empty. I don't know whether I'm messed up here or not. Oh, they're false doors. Okay, so there's nothing on those doors. They're just a false door. They should be that they try to open them. There's a spear trap. Okay, they move on. Dwarf checks again, finds nothing. They determine that it's probably safe to keep going. And they go down this hallway to the pit. And the dwarf is going to try to avoid the pit. And we roll 1 and does not. So he falls in, takes a point of damage. And in the bottom of the pit is some gold. So 25 gold pieces worth of gold. I mean, they've got enough gold now to... There's an awful lot of gold late in the game, considering it the first. And there's just not enough to spend. I hope in the newer versions that you have more to spend on. Discard that. Climbs out. And there's another secret door there. Or no, there's another false door. And I think there's nothing. They can't go any further. Nope. So the dwarf climbs back. He falls back in the pit, takes another point. And we're going to say he drinks a potion. So this gives him 5 points. So I'll cross off a potion here. And they work their way back, searching for secret doors the whole time. They finally get back here, and they find this secret door. And we'll say the elf is in the lead here. I'll move him on back. I realize this has become more storytelling than gameplay, but again, this is not really made for solo adventures, so that's okay. I'm having a good time. So they find the secret door, they move through, they get down here, and again, they look in the door, and there is a zombie. We roll for initiative. 4 for the party, 1 for the zombie. The party moves in. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I've got it here so that the elf can fire, the dwarf can attack, the mage can poke, and the barbarian can attack. Should be more than enough. So they've moved. They get to fight. Dwarf gets 2 hits in, and the zombie gets to defend at 3. Let's move these guys over. Defends at 1, so it's not nearly enough. And what do they know? Clutched in the zombie's hand is that gem, that star of whatever it is. But gosh, we haven't even hardly... We've got to find a way out of the dungeon, so... Peeks through and decides to go this way. Now there's 2 ways to really go. They can go, well, they can go up here and find out if there's anything up there. They could go here. We'll say 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. 1 to 2. So the party goes up here, discovers nothing, and then we'll say 1, 2, 3 this direction, 4, 5, 6 that direction. 4, 5, 6 it is. The party goes down here, gets to the turn, and the dwarf, I'm going to say the dwarf at this point doesn't look, so we're going to say on a 1, he falls in. Okay, he avoids falling in. But he's going to try to cross it, because there may be something around this corner. And he crosses it. Nothing over here. Tries to go back. Nothing over here. The party goes back, and they can finally get down here. So now they're down here. And they open the door, and there inside is a skeleton. We roll. We get a 2 for the party. A 2 for the skeleton, 1 for the party, a 3. So the skeleton goes against the dwarf. Misses. The dwarf goes. Gets 1 hit. Skeleton defends. And defends. Okay, and then the wizard does a little pokey thing. And does it successfully. The wizard can poke away with the best of them. Defense of 2. And that eliminates the skeleton. So skeleton's out of the way. We roll for a card. 35 gold pieces. Okay. And they move in. Check for treasure. Check for traps. Check for secret doors. There's 2 doors in the room. We're going to say 1, 2, 3 here, 4, 5, 6 here. So we roll. Okay, so they go into here. Peek in. And the dwarf, let's see, the party gets a 6. The skeletons get a 3. So they move in. Move in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and move in. Okay. Dwarf will try to go first. I guess he should have gone further. That's okay. Dwarf goes with 4, gets 2 hits on the skeleton. Skeleton defends at 2, eliminates the skeleton. The skeleton goes and moves and attacks the dwarf for 2. It's 1 hit. Dwarf defends at 5 and defends. Okay, we roll for initiative. Party gets a 4. Skeleton gets a 5. Skeleton attacks for 2, does nothing. Barbarian moves forward. And the dwarf will go again. Misses. Barbarian, who has a long sword for 3. Oh, that's enough. So the skeleton's eliminated. We draw a card. And we get a wandering monster. And the wandering monster is a skeleton in this case. I'll just pull one of these guys back. He falls out, and I'm going to say he attacks the elf. So skeleton goes with 2, hits for 1. The elf now can defend at... what's the elf's defense? She has a defense of 3. She has chainmail. She does not defend, and so she takes a point of damage. Okay, now the party can go. We'll start with the dwarf. It's 2 hits. The skeleton defends and doesn't make it. So the skeleton's gone. We draw another card, and we get 25 gold. And then the party moves here. Now, this is a special encounter. Let's go for initiative first. Party gets a 3, the monsters get a 1. So party gets to move into the room. And when they move in the room, this is the tomb of the Witch Lord. The Witch Lord will be released from his imprisonment when the first hero enters the room. And we hear a voice that says, "You have broken the magic seal that kept the Witch Lord in prison. Now he has awakened you, and you must run. Only the Spirit Blade can harm him." So, and the Witch Lord is able to cast Summon Undead, Fear, Command, and Ball of Flame. So I think he'll do that. First of all, we get to attack, though. His minions. So we'll start with the Barbarian. Oh, I guess we need to put a Witch Lord in there. Monsters, we'll use a Chaos Sorcerer. And he is immune to attacks except for the Spirit Blade. So we'll start with the Barbarian. Gets 3 attacks, so he kills the zombie. And then the Wizard gets to go and gets 1. Okay, now it's the Witch Lord's turn, and he is going to summon undead. Let's see what we got for. Let's see. Wizards of Morcar, hero spells, elf spells, chaos spells. Summon undead. We roll a dice. Where's my dice? We roll a 4, and a 4 means 3 skeletons and 2 zombies. And where do they come? It never tells us. So 4 skeletons and 2 zombies. So we're going to say skeleton, 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 zombie, and zombie. And we will put them there. We'll fill the room first. Okay. This could be a tough fight. Now they got to get out this way. And I forget who. Okay, so he did that. That was his move. So now we roll for initiative. 5 for the party, 4 for the bad guys. We'll start with the Barbarian. Barbarian rolls, gets 2 hits on a skeleton. The skeleton defends at 2 and defends at 1, so that destroys the skeleton. And then the Wizard goes, let's see, what can the Wizard do? She can poke or oregano, it's a he, or cast a spell. Now we haven't cast any spells, let's use some spells. Wizard casts, and the Wizard can cast 2 spells. So we're going to cast a Ball of Flame on this one, zombie, and a Genie on that one. So let's do the Ball of Flame first on this one. Roll 2 die. And neither of those work, so that's zombies eliminated. And we can discard that spell. And then the spell for the Genie is a 5 combat die monster. So we roll 5 combat die, and that gets rid of this zombie. And I'm not going to say they don't have treasure, because this could get really bad with the wandering monsters. Okay. Now we roll for the bad guys. Oh, wait, the elf gets to go. And the elf has Orcbane, which only does 2 against a skeleton. Doesn't do anything. Okay, then the skeleton gets to go against the elf. Skeleton has an attack of 2. And both of those hit, and the elf defends at 3. Doesn't defend, so the elf takes 2 points of damage. Okay. This skeleton moves against the barbarian. And the barbarian defends at 4. Makes it. And then we're going to say this guy goes against this skeleton goes against the wizard. Let's see, 2 die. And so 1 gets through. The wizard has a defense of 3. So defends. Okay, makes it. And then the Chaos Warrior can cast Ball of Flame. We're going to cast Ball of Flame against the... we're going to cast against the wizard, because we know wizards are probably the most dangerous. So the wizard tries to save, makes a save, so the wizard takes a point of damage. Okay. And we go to the next combat round. 4 for the party. 5 for the bad guys. We'll start with the attack on the elf. 1 point. Elf defends at 3. Doesn't defend, so takes a point of damage. Okay, the against the barbarian, 2 hits. Barbarian defends at 4 and defends it for both of them. And then the wizard has a 1 hit on the wizard. Wizard defends at 3 and effectively defends. And let's see, can we fire another spell? Summon Undead, we've done. Fear, Command, and Ball of Flames. Okay. And the Witch Lord has 2 combat die. I think they're going to do Command. Let's see what Command does. So, let's see, go to my spells. Where's my spells? Game cards. Command. The spell puts any one hero under Zargon's control. The spell can be broken immediately by rolling 1 red die for the mind points. If a 6 is rolled, the spell's broken. However, until the spell's broken, Zargon on his turn can move the hero as a monster and attack other heroes. Okay, we're going to do that. So command. And to make this nasty, we're going to command the dwarf to fight. So the dwarf has 3 mind points. And they have to roll a 6 to shrug it off. So, and they do. So it doesn't affect them. Okay. So fear is the only spell that this Witch Lord has. Okay, now the party can go. We need to get out of here. So the wizard is going to start. Let's go with the elf first, and the elf has 3. Gets 1 hit. The skeleton defends at 2 and defends. Okay. We go 3 for the barbarian. Gets 1 hit. Skeleton defends doesn't make it. And then the wizard is going to cast Ball of Flame on this one and Genie on this one. So let's start with the zombie. Gets 1 hit on the zombie, and the zombie defends at 3. Zombie makes it. Okay. And then we have 2 attacks on the skeleton. He has to make 2 saving throws and makes 1 of them, but that's not enough. Okay. And that is the end of discard and discard card. Okay, those are gone. Let's see. Did the elf go? I forget where the elf went. I think the elf did go. Everybody went. Okay. We go to the next round of combat. Oh, I'm going to step into this hex, yeah. Okay, party gets a 1. These guys get a 2. The bad guys get a 2. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's see what Fear spell does. This spell causes 1 hero to become so fearful that their attacks are reduced to 1 combat die. Well, I'm not sure that's going to really help me out that much. I'm going to just attack straightforward. Okay, so the Chaos Warrior goes with a 2-hit, 2 attacks, and the zombie goes with 2 attacks. Now the zombie hits the wizard, and the wizard defends at 3. So the wizard defends, takes 1 point. Okay. Okay. It's now time for the party. Water of Healing for the wizard. So the wizard's going to do that first. And that's going to get the wizard up to... What was there? I've got to check stuff out. The wizard has 4 body points. So we're going to get back up to 4. I think that the elf is going to drink a potion if they have one. They have the elixir of life. Ooh. They still got 2. Yeah, I'm going to drink the elixir of life. That'll get me back to 6. And didn't really want to use that one, but that's okay. I don't have anything else for the elf. And everybody else is going to go. So I'm going to move the wizard in here. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Opens the door, and there's a mummy. Let's see. The dwarf will move. I think we're going to use the barbarian's just going to have to block. And the elf will try to move out of the way. Well, I think the elf can attack. Yeah, let's see. The elf can do a heroic, also the heroic brew. So the elf's going to attack twice. So first attack from the elf is with the short sword. 2, that's 1 hit. And the monster is a skeleton. Skeleton doesn't make it, so he wasted it. Okay. That's okay. Barbarian's just going to basically sit there and be a meat shield. Dwarf's going to go against the zombie. Gets 2 hits. Zombie defends and doesn't make it, so the zombie is gone. And then this mummy here is a problem. I'm going to say they move there. Okay, we go to the next turn. Party gets a 1. Monsters get a 6, so the monsters get a go. And we'll say the mummy moves in. First of all, we'll say the Witch King, the Witch Lord, attacks the Barbarian for 2. Barbarian defends with 4. Jerome Horowitz and makes it, so they make that 1. Okay, and then a mummy goes. Mummy has a let's see, attack die of 3. 1 against the wizard. Wizard tries to save and makes her save. Okay, party gets to go. Dwarf goes barreling in here looking for traps. And actually he's going to attack. Elf will move in. And the barbarian will hold the door. Okay, things are getting tough. Let's see. First of all, the wizard gets to go. Attacks with 1. Nothing. The dwarf goes with 4. It's 2 hits on a mummy, and the mummy can defend at 4. Mummy doesn't defend, so the mummy takes 2 hits and is destroyed. And we're going to see if there's any wandering monsters. Yeah, there is. Okay. So a skeleton falls from the ceiling. And poof. Okay. And then nobody else can do anything. Now the monsters can go. So the Chaos Warrior will first go. Gets 1 hit through on the on Jerome, the barbarian, and Jerome saves. Skeleton goes against the dwarf. Nothing. Okay, now we roll for initiative. Party gets a 1. monsters get a 1. Party gets a 3. Monsters get a 3. Whoops. Let's try it again. Party gets a 5. Monsters get a 3. Okay. Party moves. And we're going to hold the door here. The dwarf gets to try. Gets a hit. The skeleton saves and does save. Wizard goes for nothing. And then the monsters get to go. So, Chaos Warrior against the Barbarian. 1 hit. Barbarian doesn't make it. So the Barbarian takes a point. 7. And then the skeleton goes against the dwarf. Now the skeleton can go against the wizard. I guess we'll just try to make this a little bit more tight. Skeleton gets 2 hits. Wizard tries to save and gets 2 saves. We go to the next turn. 2 for the party, 5 for the bad guys. Chaos Warrior against Jerome or the Witch King. 1 hit. Jerome tries to save, makes a save. Skeleton goes against the wizard. 1 hit. Wizard saves, nothing. So the wizard takes a hit. Okay, now the party goes. Dwarf gets 1, skeleton saves, nothing. So the skeleton's gone. And we're going to roll for draw another card. A hazard. Okay, so it was the dwarf. So the dwarf takes another hit. And they're in this room, and we search for traps. And we search for secret doors and find that one. Now I'm going to say that there's 1 last hit on Jerome. 2 hits. Jerome tries to make a save. Does not save, so Jerome takes 2 hits. Whoops. 5. Okay. And they're able to go, let's see, everybody can try to get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Can't do anything. Okay. Jerome is going to fight. And we're just going to go back and forth here, see if he can make it. Jerome fights with 3. 3 hits. Oh, it doesn't matter. The what's he called? The Witch King gets 2 hits on Jerome. Jerome tries to save. Nothing. Okay, Jerome's down to 3. Okay. Party gets to go. This time the dwarf goes 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're out. The wizard will cast a spell, bringing Jerome back up to 7. And then moves out. And then Jerome will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the Witch King goes, makes another attack, and doesn't do anything. And then Jerome heads out. And they are out of the dungeon. So they get, I think, 250 gold pieces for finding the star. However, they've also awakened the Witch King. So, or the Witch Lord, or what is this guy's name? The Witch Lord. He's not a king, he's just a lord. So they've awakened him, and now they're going to have to do something about it. Hint, hint, find the Spirit Blade. Okay, let's get on to the next adventure. Quest 13, Quest for the Spirit Blade. You have awoken the Witch Lord. He will pose a most serious threat to the Emperor in the coming war. The Witch Lord must be destroyed before he can bring his army of undead to attack the Emperor's forces. Your goal in this quest is to find the Spirit Blade and return it to safety. Only this ancient weapon can harm the Witch Lord. The Spirit Blade was forged by the dwarves of the World Edge Mountains and cooled in the elven fountain of Laban. This sword now lies somewhere in an ancient ruined temple. Okay, this is the quest for the Spirit Blade. Let's go ahead and get this started. So I'm going to have the party, they come down the stairs, and they're going to wander around a little bit to try to find this thing. Now, there's a lot of traps in this dungeon. And these rock falls, basically you'll roll a You roll a d6, and on a 4, 5, or 6, the rocks will fall on them and do a point of damage. On a 1, 2, or 3, they won't. And if they're wearing a helmet, it reduces it by 1. So basically, the dwarf and the barbarian will need a 5 or 6. So, okie doke. Let's go ahead, and the dwarf will start. And he'll go as 1, 2. Let's see, where do we want to go? We're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just roll it. So they're going to go through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just go ahead and take 2 moves. And actually, now that the barbarian has the longsword, he can go. And so they peek their head through, and there are 2 orcs sitting here. I got to remember that the elf has that orc blade that kills orcs. So we need to see who moves first. Party gets a 1. The orcs get a 5. So the orcs go first. Move into place. And the orc attacks with 3 attack die. Put those over here. And 2 go through. Now the Leadbelly has 5 for his defense. He defends for 2. Okay, now the party gets to go. So we'll start with the elf. The elf, the wizard. I'm sorry, the wizard with his pokey stick gets 1 hit through. The orc tries to save. Does not, so that kills the orc. That stick works really well. And there was a staff. There was a staff in the previous dungeon, but they were so busy running from the Witch King that they were never able to get it. Okay, next turn. 4 for the party, 2 for the orc. So we're just going to go 1, 2, and then these guys will all go. And I'll say the dwarf actually goes this way. He's wanting to get over here so that everybody can get into place. And does so and sets that trap. And let's see. We roll 1d6 and we get a 5. So the orc was wearing the dwarf was wearing a helmet, so it would do 1 point on 5 or 6. I'm getting cold. Okay, 6 takes a point of damage, and then the party gets to go. So the orc goes first with 3 hits, so that'll be enough. I don't think the orc can. He has 2 defense dice, so that'll take him to 1. Okay, we roll for a wandering monster, and we get a hazard. Okay, the dwarf was the one that he finds a crack in the floor and takes the point of damage. Okay, and then the party decides to move. Now, oh, wait, no, there's an orc here. Orc moves down on the wizard. Attacks with 3. Does not do anything. Okay, we go to next turn. Around. 6 for the party, 6 for the orc, 1 for the party, 6 for the orc. Orc goes. Gets 2 hits on the wizard. Wizard tries to defend. And the wizard has oregano has a defense of 3. So, what was that previous one? Was that let me go back. 2 hits, and oregano defended for 1. So oregano takes a point of damage. Okay. Party gets to go. So oregano tries to fight. Uses his stick, and the orc defends at 2, and is able to defend. And then the longsword from the barbarian, Jerome, has 3. That's 2 hits. Orc defends at 2 and makes 1 hit. Okay, and then we would draw the card, so we're out of turn, but that's okay. Same effect. Okay. Now the party's got to decide. Are they going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? And so they're going to go this way. He, I guess, got a little bit soured by the trap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Followed by him. Followed by them. Her. And I think only the elf is the original member of this party. Okay, we go through here and again set off a trap. So we need a 5 or 6 on the dwarf. Gets a 5, takes another point. And he's now at 4. Moves on this way. And comes to here. Now sees there's a door here and there's another hallway. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 for this way and 4, 5, 6 for this way. So they go this way. And those traps don't reset or anything. They're just expended. Okay, peeks in the room and there's nothing there. So now they're going to keep going. Comes up here. And the dwarf stumbles into the spear trap. Now, I think on a spear trap, it's just 1 point. Okay, and I think at that point, the wizard will play for their, they'll use a card and try to heal the dwarf. So that's 4 points. And the dwarf is back up to 7. Okay, first spear trap. They keep stumbling along. I'll give a 1 in 6 chance that the dwarf checks. Does not. Hits the spear trap. And they keep stumbling along to over here. And the dwarf's like, ow, these really hurt. Okay. We can either check this door here, or we can keep going around. So I'll say 1, 2, 3 here, 4, 5, 6 for down there. So we'll just say, whoops, I'm not going that way. So they go on through here. And they begin down this hallway. And as they get down to this point, they keep working their way down the hallway. The dwarf doesn't have a good feeling about it, but not enough that he's going to do anything. And the wizard, Oregano, sets off this trap. Now it'll be a 2. So that's, if he had a 4, 5, or 6, he would have been set off the trap. Oh, there's a femur down here. Were those femur? No, those were orcs. Okay. So the femur attacks. Actually, the femur's sitting there. Party gets a 2. Femur gets a 2. Party gets a 3. Femur gets a 1. Party goes, and the wizard is going to cast Ball of Flame. The orc will try to attack. Barbarian will stand back and wait for the first round of combat. So, Ball of Flame. So the femur rolls 2 die and takes a point. Takes 2 points of damage. That's enough to send a femur to... Let's see, they have a body point of 2, yeah. So they're gone. We discard the spell. We draw a card and get a potion of healing. And I'll say the wizard now has a potion of healing. Where's my pencil? Actually, we'll give it to the dwarf. Let's give it to the dwarf. Potion of healing. Because the dwarf is always running point on this. So the dwarf's taking a lot of damage. Okay, now they're down to here. And they've got to decide which way to go. So we'll say 1, 2, 3 for this way, 4, 5, 6 for that way. We get a 3, so they go down this way. Doo-doo-doo. And doo-doo-doo. They do the old peek in, and there's another femur staring straight at him. Party gets a 6, femur gets a 6, party gets a 4, femur gets a 5. Femur gets to go with, let's see, femur has 3 attack die. You'd think I'd have these memorized by now. 3 hits on the dwarf. Dwarf rolls for 5 and saves for 1. So the dwarf takes 2 points damage. 6, 5, 4. Okay. Now the party gets to go. So the dwarf will start with a... let's see, the dwarf's going to start with just an attack, I guess. He's got a potion of... Let's see. Now the dwarf has a potion of strength, which gives 2 extra die. I think I'm going to use that. So now the dwarf's going to attack with 6 die, which is 5 hits. The Femir can defend with 3 and nothing. So the Femir's gone. And that is their turn. And now we go to the next turn. There's 2 orcs still in that room. Party gets 4. Orcs get a 2. So he moves in. Wizard's going to move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm not sure. Is that a line of sight or not? I'm going to say no. We'll start with the dwarf. Gets 2 hits. The orc defends at 2. That eliminates the orc. And then the barbarian, Jerome Horowitz, goes with 3 die, 2 hits, and 1 save. I hit that twice, but that's okay. And Jerome sends him packing. Die, orc, die! Okay, they find nothing. Nothing isn't bad. Nothing I can live with. It's getting extra wandering monsters all the time. And I think the wandering monsters for this dungeon are... Let's see what the wandering monsters are. According to the PDF. Chaos Warriors. Oof! Those could be bad, so... That could be nasty. Let's see. Everybody's looking okay. The dwarf has 4, so... I don't think we want to spend much yet on healing. I think we will put the... I'll put the barbarian up front. Well, he can still use that corner, though. Okay. We go through the same drill. Peek through. Roll for initiative. This room could be tough because it's got a Chaos Warrior, a Femir, and an Orc in it. Party gets a 6. The bad guys get a 5. So party gets to move in. 1, 2, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'll go... here and here. Actually, here and here. Reason being is I can use these, I can attack diagonally here with the wizard, and I can fire with the elf. So let's move through everybody. And we start with the dwarf. 4 die. 2 go through. He's fighting an orc. Orc defends at 2. Does not defend, so the orc is gone. He can move in. Okay, with 3 points, what am I trying to say? The barbarian can go with 3 dice. That's 3 hits against a Femir. Femir's defend at 3 and does not. So that sends the Femir away. I'll move in. Okay. Wizard's going to go against a Chaos Knight with a spell. Don't want to mess around with the spell. Ball of Flame. Actually, Genie. I'm going to just cast a Genie. So we've 3 points with the Genie. And the Chaos Warrior defends at 4. Defends at 1. So 2 points for the Chaos Warrior. Bringing him to 1. Okay, and then finally the Elf goes. Lulabelle fires, and she fires with a crossbow at 3. Gets 1 hit in. The Chaos Warrior defends at 4. And defends. Okay, Chaos Warrior gets to go. Chaos Warrior has 4 die, and we're going to say we're going to go against the Barbarian. 1 hit on the Barbarian. Barbarian defends at 4. And defends. Okay, that was the first round. Second round. 5 for the party. 1 for the Chaos Warrior. Everybody's going to stay put. The Dwarf is going to go first with 4. Gets 1 hit. Chaos Warrior defends and easily defends. Barbarian goes with 3. That's 3 hits. Chaos Warrior defends at 4. So 2 hits. That's it for the Chaos Warrior. We draw a card and get 25 gold. And, you know, at this point, I really, with the basic game, I don't know what you can use the gold for. It'd be nice if you could buy potions for, like, I don't know, 500 gold pieces or something to get a cure potion or something. But okay, that's discarded. We check for traps, secret doors, peek through. We decide this is the way to go, and we encounter another falling rock trap. I roll and I hit. Okay, so we change BP for the dwarf to 3, but I'm going to use another, the wizard's going to use another cure spell. So that puts him back at 7. And let's get rid of that cure spell for the wizard. Oh, my poor little dwarf. Okay. And they find nothing down there. Okay, so they backtrack all the way. This is, oh, back to here. No, here. Peek in. Open it up. There's nothing there. There's a chest. Check for traps. We roll. There's nothing on that trap. And I think there's like 200 gold in there or something. 200 gold coins, yeah. So, again, more money to spend on nothing. Okay, then we go here. Now, I think I put this bed or whatever in the wrong place. So, they bounce on the bed. They peek through. And when they peek through, they see 3 goblins and an orc. By this time, their guys are pretty easy. Party gets a 1. Goblins get a 4. Goblins attack. And the goblins are rushing him. They're doing the Zerg rush. And the goblin attacks with 2 die. Gets a hit. Jerome defends. Okay, Jerome attacks with 4 die. Gets 3 hits. The goblin, just splat, the goblins goes. Okay, next goblin rushes in. And let's see, we're going to roll for the next turn. Jerome, party gets a 4, goblins get a 5, goblin attacks with 2. And gets 1 hit through, defense it. Oh, that hit. Ouch. Never laugh at a goblin. I hate that. I love goblin adventures. They're so much fun. Okay. Jerome is going to try to attack. Gets 2 hits through. Goblin defends at 1. And that's enough. Okay. We go to the next turn. Party gets a 3. Goblins get a 1. Jerome attacks a goblin. Actually, he rushes in the room, and he's going to attack the orc, and then I'm going to leave the pokey stick for oregano to attack there with the goblin. So let's do it again. So attacks the orc for 4. Gets 3 hits, so that'll be it for the orc. And then pokey stick, nothing. Okay, we go to the next. Oh, the goblin gets to attack. Oops, wrong dice. 1 hit through. Jerome defends and defends. Okay, now we go to party. Goblin. Goblin goes again with 2. Jerome defends at 5. Easily defends. Jerome's going to go with 4. Gets 3 hits. That's enough for the goblin. And we roll to see what we got for a card. A gem. Hey, we haven't got that wandering monster yet. So the party sighs a big sigh of relief. Checks the room, finds nothing. And so we move down here. So this is only thing we have left is these two rooms. And I'm going to put the barbarian in the front. We'll put Jerome's third oregano here and the elf here. Opens the door. And we roll for initiative. 3 for the party. 4 for the party. 2 for the mummy. So the barbarian, Jerome, rushes in. And in his he gets some rocks dropped on his head. We roll, and he takes a point of damage. He did have a helmet, but that didn't help him. Okay. Now we roll for the... He can attack, though. And he's got 3 for his attack. It's 1. Okay, mummy defends at 4. And takes a point of damage. Yeah, wise guy. Okay, and then the oregano with his pokey stick gets 1. Mummy defends at 4 and defends. Okay, go to next turn. Party gets a 6. Mummy gets a 3. Jerome attacks with 1. Mummy defends with nothing, and that's it for the mummy. We draw, and we get a hazard. Jerome... Okay, enough of that. Takes a point. Again, this is a lot more fun with people, so this is not the greatest solitaire game, but I don't know, it gets you by, especially if you've never done these. If you've done these already, it's kind of like, Okay, go here. Not realizing that this is the boss fight, and for the boss fight, they get a 1, boss gets a 2. So, I'm going to let the Chaos Warrior go first. Skeleton. Actually, we'll send the minions in. Let's send the minions in. We'll save the Chaos Warrior till the very end. Skeleton goes in. Skeleton goes in. Skeleton goes in. And Skeleton gets a first attack. Attack for 2. Makes a hit. Jerome defends at 4. And makes it. Okay, Jerome gets to go with 3. Gets 1 hit in. Skeleton defends at 2. And doesn't make it. So Skeleton's out. Second turn. Whoops. 4 for the party. 4 for the skeletons. 4 for the party. 1 for the skeletons. Jerome rushes in. Oregano follows through. Jerome gets to attack with 3, makes 1 hit on a skeleton, and skeleton defends at 2. Doesn't defend, so the skeleton's out. Oregano goes, misses. The bad guys get to go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Okay, so we have 3 on Jerome. We'll start with the skeletons. There's 2 of them. They attack with 2 each. 2, so 1 hit. Jerome defends at 4 and makes it. The other one goes. 1 hit. Jerome defends at 4, and that takes a hit. Now 5. Okay. And then the Chaos Warrior gets to go. This could be bad. Attack die of 4. 2 hits. Jerome defends at 4. Makes it. Okay, and we go to the next turn. Next round. 4 for the party. 2 for the bad guys. Jerome is going to try for a... We're going to try the Chaos Knight. And then Oregano will be fighting back with the... trying to kill a skeleton. So, Chaos Knight, 3 against... And actually, we're going to drink a potion. Here, Jerome drinks a... He's got a potion of defense. I'll drink it. And that adds 2 to his defense. Got to remember that he's got that defense, because he's in a pretty bad situation here. Okay, who was going first? Okay, Jerome's going after the Chaos Warrior. Gets 2 hits in. Chaos Warrior defends at 4. And doesn't make it. Okay, so the Chaos Warrior takes 2 hits. Puts him at 1. Okay. Oregano goes with 1. Makes it through. Skeleton defends at 2. Doesn't make it. So that poke that stick of poking has been great. Okay, then both of these guys are going to go against Jerome. So we'll start with the Chaos Warrior. Chaos Warrior has attack of 4 with 3 hits. Now Jerome defends at 4, but he's going to defend at 6 this time because of the potion. So 3 hits. Oh, it doesn't really help. So 2 attacks make it through. Okay, and then the skeleton gets to go. 2 hits. Now, I'm going to say the potion's still working, so Jerome goes again with 6 and makes it. Okay, and that's the end of turn. Next turn, party gets a 1. Oops, party gets a 1. Monsters get a 6. Okay. Let's see. So Chaos Warrior's going to go with 4 again. Gets 1 hit through. Jerome defends at 4. Makes it. Okay, Skeleton goes with 2. Nothing. Okay, now the party gets to go. Jerome will hit the Chaos Warrior, and Oregano will try the stick of poking against the Skeleton. Let's try Oregano first. Nothing. Jerome with his 3. Nothing. Okay. We go to next round. Party gets a 4. Monsters get a 3. So we'll again, Oregano will attempt to attack, and then Jerome will attack with 2. Chaos Warrior defends at 4. Makes it. Okay. Chaos Warrior attacks at 4. Gets 1 through. Jerome defends at 4. Makes it. Skeleton attacks with 2. Jerome defends at 4 and makes it. Okay. We go to next round. Party gets a 6. Bad guys get a 1. Jerome will attack again. At 3. 1 hit through. Chaos Warrior defends at 4. Makes it. Oregano attacks. Nothing. Okay. Chaos Warrior goes with 4. Gets 2 hits through. Jerome defends at 4. Jerome takes 2. And I'm going to say Jerome drinks his potion of healing. And I think we roll for the potion of healing. I can't remember. Or is it 4 automatically? I think so we'll just do it. We'll just roll. Does 3, so that puts Jerome at 6. Okay. And I forget who, I think those guys had their turn. I forget whose turn it was. Okay, we'll just roll for again. 2 for the party, 6 for the monsters. We'll start with the 4 for the Chaos Warrior. Jerome defends at 4. Makes it. 2 for the Skeleton. 4 for Jerome. Jerome takes another hit point. He's doing better than the poor old dwarf was. Okay, now it's the Oregano's turn. Makes a hit through. Skeleton defends at 2. Doesn't make it, so stick of poking works. Jerome attacks with 4. It's nothing. We roll to the next round. 3 for the party. 5 for the Chaos Warrior. Chaos Warrior rolls. 3 hits through. Jerome defends with 2, so Jerome takes a point. Okay, Jerome attacks with 4. Chaos Warrior defends with 4 with 2 hits. Doesn't do it. So that's it for the Chaos Warrior. And we pull a card. And it's a wandering monster, which is another chaos monster. Okay. Or chaos warrior. Oops, I guess I pull a new one here. Where's your miniatures? Miniatures. Whoever did the Vassal version of this did a really nice job. It really works pretty well. Now, I'm going to say that in the interim of this guy, I'm going to let these guys slip in. Or move. You need it like a move where they can move one square during a combat. And he'll slip by. Otherwise, you end up again in a doorway fighting. Yeah, let's let him. Let's say he's still in there. Let's just go that way. There's no rules that say you can do that, really. So, okay. We're going to roll for initiative. Party gets a 1. Chaos guy gets a 5. Chaos warrior rolls. Gets Jerome for 1. Jerome defends. Makes it. Okay, Jerome goes with 4. Gets 2. Chaos warrior defends. Ouch. Takes 2 hits. Okay, we roll for initiative. Party gets a 6. Chaos warrior gets a 2. And I'm going to have the wizard use the genie. Okay, so we'll start with the genie. Genie gets a 5-hit die, gets 2 through. The Chaos Warrior defends at 4, makes it. Jerome attacks with 4, gets 2 through. And the Chaos Warrior doesn't do anything. Okay. Discard card, and we draw again. Another one. And another one flies through. This is getting ridiculous. Okay. Move. We roll for initiative. 5 for the party, 2 for the Chaos Warrior. Jerome hits for 1. Chaos Warrior defends. Chaos Warrior goes for 4, gets 3 on Jerome. Jerome defends for 2 of those. Okay. And we go to next initiative. 6 for the party. 5 for the party. Okay, party gets to go. I'm going to say that the wizard is going to cast. Whoops. Wizard will cast a Water of Healing. That puts Jerome up 4 more points. Change him to 6. Okay, and Jerome gets to go. Makes 2 hits. Chaos Warrior defends. Does not hit. That puts the Chaos Warrior at 1. Okay, Chaos Warrior goes for 4. 2 hits. Jerome defends at 4. Makes it. We go to next round. 1 for the party. 2 for the Chaos Warrior. Chaos Warrior attacks for 1. Jerome defends at 1. I think, let's see. Wizard has another... No genie. Okay. And I don't think they can really cast Ball of Flame. Well, it doesn't say whether... I'd say they have to be in line of sight. Now, the genie, I think you could pop over. But I think the Wall of Flame, I think, is kind of like a little fireball spell, so I think he's in the way. So, who went? Did Jerome go? He needs to go. Jerome makes 1. Chaos Warrior defends. Okay, we go to next turn. 6 for the party, 2 for the Chaos Warrior. 1 attack makes it, and that's enough. So that sends the Chaos Warrior into the void. Okay, that was a discard that, and let's draw. And we get some gold. Yay! Okay, so 15 gold pieces. And what do we find in this little target here? But the blade of what's it called? The spirit blade. The spirit blade. So we find the spirit blade, and that wraps up this dungeon, I think. Yeah, I think we've got everything we needed out of that. Been kind of a tough one, a lot of traps, but I think we've sprung everything. We've All they've got to do now is make the conga line of death out of here, and they will be done. And that is it for today's video. We will come back with the exciting conclusion to Heroquest next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.